Hello and welcome to Sparring Sessions. My name's Dax, and we're here today to break down UFC Fight Night, Dolidze versus Hernandez. First, though, as always, got to bring in the co-hosts. Today, it's been Big Will for a few previous shows in a row, but today we get UFC Genie off the best bets uh,
Yeah,
duty, I guess. How's it going, Genie?
pretty good. I think I missed last week's best bets episode, but we're back and better than ever. Can't wait for this one. Dolidze Hernandez.
Oh yeah. Well,
It's
we
got
didn't
him.
have we didn't have a best bets because we couldn't find a guest or a co-host, and that kind of people don't like listening to me talk by myself without somebody else. So, um, yeah, no, figured we'll skip a week, but yeah, we'll do a little recap first. Last week we did have a preview show, UFC Fight Night, Tyra versus Park. Just because of the way schedules worked out, we're recording after the event. And it was a pretty good card, I'll say. It's not often we get to do one of these review segments at the beginning, but we do today. So, Jeannie, I think Will and I both gave this somewhere around a 6.5 or a 6. Um, I don't know what you gave it. Well, you do things a little differently, but how do you think the card went compared to what you thought of it?
How it went compared to how I thought. I mean, I think it kind of went pretty much how I thought it was gonna go.
Yeah,
I wasn't too surprised about most of these outcomes. I think a 6 out of 10 is right around maybe 5.5.
okay. Yeah.
I'm always a little more harsh than you guys, I think, but um, yeah, no, the early prelims definitely dragged on.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not going to expand on that. There was a couple on the main card too that weren't terrible, but I mean most of them on the main card were pretty good after the Esteban Ribovic fight. There was all barn
Yeah.
burners after that, but
Well, including that,
betting
I'll
wise,
say.
man, I feel like I overthought a few things. Like I had Tyra sub, that was a
Hmm.
good one, but I don't know. I had Chris Duncan over point 0.5 takedowns. There was plus money. He
Yeah.
usually gets a takedown in his fights. He averages three a fight actually, and Mateusz Rebecki has like a 45% takedown defense, and he didn't try at all. So he didn't take down Rebecki. And then I also Hyung Sung Park one takedown was over. It was a plus 400, and
Yeah.
I thought I was an expert play because he's gotten a takedown in all of his fights, and
Yeah.
Tyra also has been taken down a couple times. But no, Tyra just showed levels like I thought he was going to, and submitted him.
There
So
are
I might
indeed
have overthought a few things.
there are indeed levels. Yeah, I only had one bet on the card. It was a tough betting week for me. I had a parlay of Vallejos minus 3.5 and the Magny fight to go over 1.5. And I thought both those were sure bets. Vallejos one, I was sweating that a little bit. That was a great fight, but come the end, I had scored at 30-27. But you know how the judges do. I thought. I think I texted you. I'm like, oh, I think they're gonna give a round or even the fight to Danny Silva, but no, that one. And then the Neil Magny, once that hit, I'm like, all right, we're good. But then Neil Magny gets a finish end of round two, so just snuck in there. I thought it was a great card. Uh, even
You thought
like
Danny Silva had a chance to win that decision?
no, but with judging how it is, let me put it this way. I think I saw. Let me check MMA decisions officially. Um, yeah, somebody gave it to Silva, one of the media members.
Cut him.
I I don't see. I see how people did it. I think you're wrong if you did it, but I'll take the bet.
Theatrics don't win fights.
No, they don't. But yeah, two fight of the year contenders, I'd say, and then the Viejo Silva fight. Almost any other card would have won fight of the night. But
We did not get a performance bonus,
no, we did not.
sadly.
I went 11-1. It was my best card of the year so far. Um,
Picking all favorites, are we?
I had one underdog who won. It was Neil Magny.
Oh
Um,
fuck.
And yeah, that was our underdog of the week last week. So maybe, we got to be more selective this week. And if we do have an underdog together, maybe that says something. But we'll have a best bets episode too, and something else too in the works, another show. But we'll announce that. We'll announce that when we release it. Um, so jumping right into well, I guess not right in, jumping into the um, card this week, UFC Fight Night, Dolidze versus Hernandez, going down in the Apex again. Think of how many of those fights last night would have been so much better with a crowd, like Duncan and Rebecki in front of the crowd. Oh,
And then
but
do it
no,
all again next week.
back to the Apex. I don't know how to feel about this. I mean, there's a few things. Okay, so you gave the card what, a 5.5 last week, right, Jamie?
Yep. And I
What
think
do you
I
what are you
honestly
giving this
I
week?
might even go lower if I could rewrite that I might go to a 5.
Okay, what are you giving this week?
This one on paper 6.
Higher,
Yeah, I'll go a little
really
higher. Steve Urseg's
interesting.
bringing it up for me.
Deep, okay, all right. Eric
You
Anders
know,
didn't want
you
to.
got the prospect killer Christian Rodriguez, but real ones know he's not against a prospect this week.
Yeah, yeah, okay, interesting. You're a little higher on it than me. I'm gonna go like a 5. I think this is one of the most mid cards of the year. Bunch of mid guys on it, but we'll get to the individuals. 4:30 p.m. Eastern prelims. I'll say that's pretty good. That's pretty good. 6 p.m. is a little too late. If you could give me like a 3 p.m. prelim start time, that would be ideal. Only 11 fights. We'll see if they add another, but um, yeah, we lost. Well, really, we didn't lose any fights. We just have a few replacements, but it's interesting. We had the Hyung Park against Steve Urseg that got canceled because Park got pulled. Park was in for Alex Perez initially, and we have a replacement for Mayra Buena Silva against Jocelyn Edwards. So we'll talk about that fight in a little bit. Only 11 fights. Maybe we'll get another one added fight week, but as of right now, there's no like fighters who need an opponent. So maybe we'll just go
Yeah, that's
11
pretty
fights.
optimistic. That's pretty optimistic to think they do that for this shitty fight night.
Uh,
I don't
you
think that's
know,
happening.
11 fights would be fine. I'll just say that. I would not be that upset with 11 fights. But let's jump right into the first fight of the night. Women's strawweights. Gabriela Fernandez versus Julia Stoliarenko. Um, Fernandez is a big favorite. Big favorite. This one surprised me. Minus 425, plus 325 on the other side for Stoliarenko. Stoliarenko lost against Luana Carolina over a year ago, February of 2024. So she's been out for a minute. And on the other side, Gabriela Fernandez, Gabby, wonderful nickname, has been out since November of 2023, or sorry, 2024, when she beat Kong Wang in that pretty big upset, right? Yeah, plus 700, 800, I think. So she's been out since then, and now is opening the card at an Apex fight. Pretty much same height. Sawyer includes gonna have 3 inches of reach, and pretty much the same age. So we'll start with you here. You're the co-host, so you get to go first. Pretty big odds. You going with the big favorite, Gabby Fernandez?
Yeah, you're not gonna get me to pick Julia Stoliarenko. Not in
Mm.
my right mind. I think I would have to be off of a couple pharmaceuticals to do that. But Gabriel Fernandez was getting pieced up a little bit by Kong Wang, but she's like a pretty good kickboxer that ended up she just won her last fight, and I mean Gabriela Fernandez dogged it out in that, waited till the opening and got a perfect shot on Kong Wang and finished her off immediately. I love
Mm.
that finishing instinct. I saw Julia Stoliarenko in tears last fight. She was crying,
Yeah.
bawling her eyes out after Luana Carolina beat her the fuck up in a crucifix. That's sad. She's not. I hate to harp on these fighters, but some of them, they're not. They're not built for it.
They
They're
don't
not
have that
built
dog
for
in
it.
them.
They don't got that dog in them, you know. They don't
Mm.
want it. When the going gets tough, they quit. And Julia Stoliarenko is a prime example of this. And Gabriela Fernandez is going to exploit her on the ground. She is, and she's going to
Okay.
beat her up and end up KOing her in the second or third round. That it's got to happen.
Interesting. I don't know. I don't know. She does not. Gabriel Fernandez does not score takedowns. 18% accuracy, zero point 0.5 takedowns per 15 minutes. I see this is going to be a striking battle. I'm picking Fernandez, but no, I don't know. Something in me says it shouldn't be minus 425. Maybe we see some on best bets, but um, yeah, we don't need to spend much more time on this women's opener. Jump up to 170. Earls Medic versus Gilbert Urbina, the RGV bad boy. I had to look this up. I believe it's the Rio Grande Valley, which is South Texas bad boy
Oh,
for Urbina, even though Tapology says he trains out of Ohio, or sorry, was born in Ohio, trains out of Texas. So I don't know if it's like one of those moved early. And I feel like if you move somewhere, like I moved around a lot in my life, I wouldn't call myself the an Atlanta guy, you know? Maybe birthplace, maybe if you live somewhere for anyway.
I think
Um,
Logan Paul got billed out of Dominican Republic last night at SummerSlam, and I know for a fact he was born and raised in Ohio.
exactly.
So
Um, I was not watching because I don't hate myself. But Gilbert Urbina comes from a family of UFC fighters, a few between Tough and his older brothers. Um, he is a big underdog as well, though. Plus 350, minus 450 for Euros Medic the Doctor. I love that nickname. Medic's going to be a few years older, 32 over 29. Urbina's going to have 2 inches of height and 4 inches of reach. Um, this one, again, I don't like the line on this one. Urbina's big for welterweight. I mean, he was at 185 on Tough, and he has been knocked out and submitted by Charles Radke and Brian Battle, who are not like great um, losses to have on your record, and Sean Brady before that. But I don't know. He's got power and he's not bad. On the other side, Medic, very good, very good. Did get kind of um, run over real quick by in two of his last three by Soriano and Orlby,
what's his
but
first name?
Punahele Soriano.
All right.
All right, Penna, Juliana
Yeah.
Penna.
Hey,
Oh wait,
you
no, that
said
wasn't even it.
Punalehi. You said Punalehi last
Punahele.
time.
Yeah, I was going off the dome that time. Looking at it now, but yeah, I'm going Medic. I think he just kind of I don't know. He could take him down. He could outbox him. He could outbox him, but I don't know. I feel like he might play this one a little safe after getting run over pretty quickly. Either way, I have Medic in what should be a pretty exciting fight, especially if it stays on the feet. I'll say that. Jamie?
I also have Medic. I think he's a little more built for a tough fight than Urbina. We've seen Urbina. He got put up pretty bad last time, and I mean, I'd rate Soriano's hands a bit higher than I think he has a bit harder of a punch than Charles Radke does.
Hmm.
But like, I think you can get knocked out by Punalehi, and you can come back and get better from that. You know, and Gilbert Urbina though, he's gonna be trying to get Euros Medic out of there early, and I think it's
Yeah.
gonna come back to bite him. He's gonna get caught, and Medic is gonna really make him pay early on, I think, and he's gonna get him out of there in the first round.
Yeah. It doesn't have the best gas tank, does Urbina. I guess neither
Yeah.
does Medic, but anyway. Next up, this is one of my favorite fights on the card, actually. I you are hard pressed to see me say that about a women's bantamweight fight, but Jocelyn Edwards versus Priscilla Cachoeira, 135. If I doubt, if Edwards makes weight, if both of them do, these two women. I mean, Cachoeira's coming up, so you'd hope, but ooh, do they love to miss weight? Zombie girl Cachoeira, she's gonna be 7 years older than Edwards at 36. inch shorter. She's given up 5 inches of reach to Edwards, but she did KO Josiane Nunez last time out. Um, Edwards on the other side also coming off a KO. Rare women's bantamweight finishers. Edwards is also ranked in the UFC, number 14. Isn't that something? Um, Coming off a KO herself of Chelsea Chandler and a rear naked choke before that versus Tamiris Vidal. Um, yeah, Jeannie, this one's you. Who are you going with in this exciting women's bantamweight fight?
I've got to go with Jocelyn Edwards here. She's got a
Yeah.
reach advantage, 5 inches. That's kind of substantial, and she's looked pretty good recently. Like two back-to-back finishes, and like that Chelsea Chandler one, she looked like she unlocked part of herself. Like she finally got that warrior instinct in her, where she's killing people in there, and Priscilla Cachoeira, I don't see that happening with her, but I could
Hmm.
see Jocelyn Edwards piecing her up at range. Cachoeira is going to be trying to throw some wing and hooks and get it on the inside and throw some power shots, but I think Edwards is pretty good with her movement, and she's going to end up taking home a decision victory,
Yeah,
most likely. But
Edwards.
man, I was caught off guard when she knocked out Josiane Nunez.
Yes, me too. Yeah, minus 260. The books agree with you for Edwards. I'm going with the dog, though. I'm going Priscilla Cachoeira. I hate to say this. I'm a Zombie Girl fan. Listen, I was on her when she beat Gina Visani. I was on her when she beat Ariane Lipsky, Jian Kim. I was on her when she lost to Miranda Maverick too. But we don't talk about that. I think she gets it done. She got power. This is probably going to be a stand-up fight. I don't think Edwards really is going to wrestle here. She might That might be better for her, but I don't really think so. And just something in me says that Priscilla Cachoeira is going to knock out Jocelyn Edwards in the first like minute and a half. Yeah, kind of a weird one. But it's women's bantamweight. You never know what's going to happen. And it's like heavyweight. Anything can happen. Um, so give me the big, decent sized dog, I'll say. Uh, Speaking of big dogs, we have a very large underdog coming up next, Toshiomi Kazama. Um, the silent finisher. I do like that nickname though. Big, big underdog. He is a plus 425. Elijah Smith, minus 600 on the other side. Um, Elijah Smith's really young, 22 years old, 28 for Kazama. 2 inches of height, 2 inches of reach for Smith. And yeah, he's making his second fight, his sophomore debut, coming off a win over Vince Morales. Kazama, some of those guys, I kind of had to remind myself, who he was because he fights so infrequently. He's been out since last August, and he's only had 4 UFC fights. One of them was the road to two fight in 3 years. So, or sorry, UFC fights in 3 years. Not memorable really in any of them. So, this one is me first. I'm going Elijah Smith here just because I think he can. I think he's really good, and I think he's going to be something. This does kind of scream trap to me. This could be the Vegas killer of the week because Kazama's not bad, um, and Elijah Smith's just so young. You're 22 years old. Life is not the same day to day like it is when you're a little bit older. Um, and maybe Kazama can wrestle. I It's a weird fight. I could see Elijah Smith. He gassed a little bit in the Vince Morales fight. Maybe that happens here, but I'm going Elijah Smith. Not super confident though. What about you?
I I'm gonna go with Elijah Smith. I think this is a prime. There's a very high potential for like a highlight knockout. I think here,
Yeah,
like we've seen Kazama put out in the first round pretty quickly by Garrett Armfield and Rinya Nakamura, who both have hands respectively. But Elijah Smith, I mean, he two back-to-back decisions. He hasn't got a KO
yeah.
in the UFC yet, but
Well,
this
tough
could
guys.
be. Yeah, it's tough guys, and he was close to getting Aaron Tao out of there,
Yeah,
but he is more of a grappler, to be fair. Like he is rolling around quite a bit, But
Yeah.
I do see him getting a knockout here. I just I don't really rate Kazama, and I get he beat Charalampos Gregorio and all that, but I don't like
Eh,
Gregorio's not incredible either. I
no.
see a little bit of potential in Elijah Smith. I think he's getting that finish, first or second round, whether it be like on the feet or dominant position TKO on the ground. You know,
We'll see. It's just one of those, especially these Pro 2 guys, until they get a few UFC fights. I know he said three, but he just doesn't have that time in there until we see more tape, until we get more information on him, or maybe this is just the last one. It's just there's so many question marks, there's so many unknowns, you know. Um, like in this next fight, I'll say that I got a lot of unknowns here. I'm pretty confident, but there still are some of these question marks. We got Julius Walker and Rafael Cerqueira. Uh, Julius Walker, huge favorite, minus 600, um, tied for the biggest on the card. Other side, Rafael Cerqueira, plus 425. Uh, Julius Walker, will go with him first. Juice Box. I do like that nickname. He's gonna be 9 years younger at 26 years old. Have an inch of height, 2 inches of reach. He's coming off an unsuccessful debut against Alonzo Menifield. Somehow got fight of the night in Seattle, even though that was a horrible fight. I don't know what fight they were watching. I also thought he won it, but on the other side, Rafael Cerqueira is the guy who has gotten knocked out pretty quickly twice in a row. Ibo Aslan, Modestas Bukauskas, two round one finishes against him, knockouts. So, Jeannie, this one's you. Is the trend continue here? Does Julius Walker knock out Rafael Cerqueira in the first round?
I'm saying he does. Yeah, I think he
Yeah.
does get a quick finish over Rafael Sakua.
Okay,
He
hang on,
looks
hang on.
like
No, no, no. Serkua?
Sarkua.
Is that what we're going with? Serkua?
That's how I've been saying it.
Okay. All right.
I don't listen. Rafael, whatever, looks the part, but when he gets in the cage, all that goes out the window. He looks like
Yeah.
someone that just signed off the street. This dude shells up whenever someone unloads a three-punch combo at him, and then it turns into a 20-piece combination in the first 20 seconds of the fight. It's like, what are you doing? What
Yeah.
are you? This is a fight, and he just lets himself get beat up. And Julius Walker, he was right in that Alonzo Menifield fight.
Yeah.
He was
I thought
right
he
in
won.
that fight. I thought he won too. A split decision is understandable in that. They were
Yeah.
both pretty gassed out at the end, but that was a
Yeah.
week's notice fight for him, and he hung in there until the end. I think he's getting a finish over Sakua. I don't think this guy belongs. Get him out of the company. And yeah, juice box
Yeah.
round one KO.
Fair enough. Under 1.5 is minus 225 here. Julius Walker is minus 600. People just seem to think the same. I am agreeing. Even though Julius Walker, he's only got seven professional fights, nine amateur, which is better, but all of his fights ended pretty quickly until that Alonzo Menifield fight. So could I see Shakira just pushing him against the cage and making this another weird? That wasn't even a dog fight versus Menifield, just kind of like a
A fight in
old
your
man
dreams.
fight. Yeah, yeah. There we go. So yeah, I'm going Julius Walker here, but and just a weird fight as well. Weird fight so far. Another weird fight, also at at 185, not light heavyweight. Eric Anders versus Christian Leroy Duncan. COD the huge favorite, minus 565. Eric Anders plus 415. A lot of big favorites on this card. I don't like it. COD is going to be 8 years younger at 30 years old, 38 for Anders. Um, an inch of height, 4 inches of reach for Duncan. He is coming off that win against Andrei Polyaev in London. And on this side, Anders is coming off that Chris Weidman win in December. Such a weird card that was. Ugh. Or sorry, weird fight. Weird card too.
People forget,
That
man. Chris Weidman scored a knockdown.
he did. And then everybody forgot that he was incredibly old. That he was the darling dog that week, Chris Weidman, even though he's like pick 'em or something. I, I don't know. Eric Anders fights are just weird for some reason. Always weird. But yeah, give me COD. Give me the big favorite here. Anders is 38 years old. He had he didn't have like an easy career before fighting, and now he's what 20. What are we at? 25 fights into his professional career, some main events in there, some bad knockouts. I don't think it'll be entertaining, but COD's faster. He puts out more, puts more output out. And is Eric Anders' best attempt here, or is his best shot of winning grappling COD? That doesn't seem like a good idea. Um, I mean, 72% takedown defense and 24% accuracy for Eric Anders. So give me COD here. This is somehow like the biggest favorite, the big favorite that I'm most confident in, but I also just wouldn't be shocked if he looks like shit here. So I don't know. I hate to keep picking these huge favorites, but they're just probably going to win, you know? I don't know. You going with an underdog here?
No, no.
Yeah,
I'm learning my lesson. Last week I went with a couple that I ended up getting. I looked
yeah,
like the fool. I looked like the fool for a few of them. So
yeah.
I'm playing it safe this week with CLD. I
Okay.
think Eric Anders is not. I mean, he looked good against Chris Weidman,
Yeah,
but you know, so did Bruno Silva.
yeah. That's Chris Weidman.
And CLD, I think he's going to be piecing up Eric Anders, and he's going to end up getting a finish.
Hmm.
Weidman did knock down and kind of exposed Eric Anders a bit before he
Yeah.
gassed out. I think CLD's getting around 2 TKO, getting a spinning
Ooh,
back elbow, some shit. It'll be a beautiful
okay.
knockout. I'm
Interesting.
sensing some crazy's gonna happen here.
I I think it's going to be pretty boring, but I would not be shocked. I would not be shocked. Um, let's jump into a fight I think is also going to be pretty good. Gian Matsumoto versus Miles Johns, 135 bantamweights. It's hard to get a bantamweight fight that's really boring, especially these two guys. Gian Matsumoto is coming off that short notice Rob Font fight in February up a weight class. Kind of. It was what, 140, I want to say? A catchweight, yeah. And now he's coming back to his natural weight class to fight Miles Johns, who is coming off a spirited losing performance against Felipe Lima in Tampa. It was a good fight, and he didn't look bad. Um, Miles Johns is going to be 6 years older at 31. I could have sworn he was like 40 at this point, but no, only 31, 25 for Matsumoto. Uh, inch of height for Johns, but 2.5 inches of reach for Matsumoto. This one is, oh, I should mention the odds, minus 285 for Matsumoto, plus 225 for Johns. So, Jeannie, does the favorite train stop here? Or are we going with John Matsumoto?
I think I'm sticking with Gene Matsumoto here.
Yeah.
Even in that Rob Font fight, he landed 7 takedowns, and he got outstruck a little bit and got there was no knockdowns, but he was just getting pieced up, and the better shots were landed from Rob Font.
Yeah.
But for him to land 7 takedowns, that tells me that he's still doing everything in his ability to try to win the fight. If it's not
Hmm.
working on the feet, he's going to be trying to take you down, and him getting like that's a Marab level amount of takedowns. That's
Yeah.
nobody's getting 7 in a fight. Miles
Hmm.
Johns, he does have pretty good takedown defense, but at the end of the day, when you put him against like I don't want to say prospect because Gene Matsumoto, like we don't really know about him,
I
but it's
think it's
kind of
fine to say prospect. He's still 25.
yeah. When you put him against prospect, he kind of flounders a little bit. Like Douglas
Hmm.
Silva and Andrade, just an older guy a little bit. Cody Gibson returning,
Yeah.
but Felipe Lima, John Castaneda was kind of there for a bit. Mario
Yeah.
Batista. I think Gene Matsumoto is going to be able to do the same things, piece him up at range, maybe even implement a takedown. Felipe Lima was able to get him down.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens, but I think Gene Matsumoto's taking us home by decision.
I agree. This just kind of screams the Douglas Lima fight to me, or no, Felipe Lima. Um, Miles Johnson is a good takedown defense, but still, like Felipe Lima got him down twice. John Matsumoto will go for you said it, Marab. he went 7 for 15 against Font and 2 for 10 against Katona. But he lands a lot more strikes per minute. He doesn't have the power advantage here, but he can still do some damage, and then he's got the grappling too. So minus 285, I like it, and should be a pretty entertaining fight. I'll say that. If Johns wins, maybe even more entertaining. He's seems whenever he wins, he gets like some kind of crazy. It's not finished, but some kind of crazy moments in there. Um, yeah, jumping up the card, featherweights. Christian Rodriguez, C-Rod versus Andre Fili. He does have to replace that C-Rod nickname with the prospect killer because I do like that. Rodriguez is going to be 7 years younger. Uh, no, I'm sorry, 8 years younger. I can't do math. At 27, 35 for Fili, 4 inches of reach, 2.5 inches. Sorry, 2.5 inches of reach, 4 inches of height for Andre Fili. C-Rod was a bantamweight. Probably should still be a bantamweight. And yeah, prospect killer versus uh, say the ultimate featherweight veteran. If Alex Caceres is now cut and Cub Swanson's retired, whatever he is, I'd say 12 fights or sorry, 24 fights in the UFC for Andre Fili. This one's me. This one's me. Minus 218. I don't know. This is a big number. Sorry, minus 250 for Christian Rodriguez, plus 210 for Andre Fili. I'm going with Andre Fili. Give me the dog here. Christian Rodriguez is not fighting a prospect. Um, Melky Costa he lost to, Julian Rosa he lost to, and Andre Fili's kind of just in that group, right? I mean, um, has Andre Fili really never fought Julian Rosa? You got to be kidding me here. Or no, he fought Melky Costa. He lost to Melky Costa. Anyway, Fili's a dog. He's a vet. Uh, I thought he won the fight to Cub Swanson, even though a lot of people said robbery. Uh, and then you remember there was a fight he was winning, the Daniel Pineda fight. I guess that was a while ago, but he just looked great, and then it was a no contest. So you can poke holes in his record, but he's going to be a lot bigger, and I can just see him winning a weird split decision. So give me Andre Fili here. How about you, Jeannie?
Oh man. Oh man. So this is really testing the theory. Because there's been this theory about
Of
Christian
course.
Rodriguez that he only beats prospects. You put him up
Hmm.
against an established guy, and he cannot do it. This
Yeah.
is really testing that theory, man. Philly has a reach advantage of 3 inches. They both have lost to Costa in the last 5 months. Um, is Philly gonna go out there and try to go balls to the wall in the first round to get him out of there and then gas out like half of these prospects have been doing to Christian Rodriguez? Probably not. So it's an interesting one. If Philly is going to be staying composed and staying at range and just piecing up Christian Rodriguez, maybe mixing in a takedown or two, I agree. He's going to have a size advantage. He is the
Hmm.
145er. C-Rod isn't really a career 145er. He's kind of a smaller guy.
Hmm.
Listen, I could see Philly taking this home, man. I'm worried about this. I'm so scared. I'm so
Yeah.
scared. I'm going with Andre Fili. This is
Wow.
testing the theory. And
Now the question is, do you want to make this the dog of the week? We don't have to have a dog of the week, but is this going to be our dog of the week?
um what's the rest of the card entail? Yeah, this is going to be the dog of the week.
This is going to be. We don't have to have one if you're not super confident. Listen,
This is the dog of the week.
this is the dog of the week. All right, Andre Fili, you have big shoes to follow. You have, I guess, another vet, Neil Magny. Is Andre Fili the Neil Magny of featherweight?
Like, it's close. I think that's a
Yeah,
good comparison.
it's either him or Dan Ige, but Dan Ige's pretty entertaining. So I don't know. Anyway, um, yeah, looks like we're both going with Andre Fili here, dog of the week. Let's see if the trend continues. Next up, Angela Hill versus Yasmin Lucindo. See, now I feel like I kind of know your picks for the rest of the card. It's interesting. We'll see. We'll see. Um, Lucindo is going to be a lot younger. You know how they always do those, youngest fighter versus oldest fighter on the card. This isn't that because Elijah Smith's younger, but this has got to be one of the larger age gaps. 17 years, 40 for Angela Hill, 23 for Yasmin Lucindo. Um, Same height, inch and a half of reach for Lucindo, coming off that Amanda Lemos loss. Angela Hill on the other side, um, coming off a win over Ketlin Souza, split decision. Minus 190 for Lucindo, plus 165 for Angela Hill. So, Jeannie, this one's all you. You going with this? I would say this is very much just cut and dry prospect versus vet. So you going with the prospect or the vet?
Listen, if you know anything about my picks, you know I cannot pick a 40-year-old against one of these really
Hmm.
young fighters like this. I just can't do it unless it's like the
Okay.
worst 23-year-old on the roster. Lucindo has a lot of potential though.
Hmm.
She mixes in takedowns. She did lose to Lemos, but Lemos is like a perennial title threat. You know, like she's up there in the top five usually.
Hmm.
Um, she was on a three-fight win streak. She beat Marina Rodriguez. That's a really good win. And Angela Hillman, I mean, it seems like every time I pick against, I ca- she's like the Kevin Holland recently, or she's like whenever
Hmm.
I pick against her, she loses or she wins. Whenever I pick her, she loses. There we go.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I, I nearly misspoke, but like I picked her. I picked Ketlin Souza. I picked Tabitha Ricci. So good on that. But that like I might have picked Luana Pinheiro. I don't know. I don't think I did. Maybe
I
not.
forget. We don't have a record. We don't have a record
Yeah,
of it. Actually, I
yeah.
might, but the public doesn't.
But Lucindo, she needs this win. She just lost 4 months ago, and she's coming right back. Angela Hill, even her wins are split decisions. Like she cannot have a dominant win. She has a reach disadvantage here, and she's 40 years old. Like you're 40 years of age, you know. Like I can't pick her. It just can't happen.
Okay. Okay. I am picking her. How does? Let me ask you this: how does Yasmin Lucindo win this fight?
Decision.
Decision? Is it? Is
Yeah.
it? Is it? Does she stay standing? Does she take it down? Mix it up?
Uh,
Let
that's
me
a
put
good
it this
question.
way.
That's a good question. You know, if Angela, she can't really take down Angela Hill, can she?
Nope. Uh, I think she has the power advantage here. I think that's about it, really. I think Ganja Hill, she's faster. She's going to be putting up more numbers. I think she has the grappling advantage too. Um, and Angela Hill, this is like the perfect Angela Hill victory. Like Denise Gomes. This is kind of similar to the Denise Gomes fight, right? Maybe Yasmin
Yeah.
Lucindo's a little more well-rounded, but Caitlin Souza, Denise Gomes, Yasmin Lucindo, he's even like Luana Pinheiro to some extent. These are all kind of like they're in the same group for me, you know? And what do three out of four of them have in common? They've lost to Angela Hill. Angela Hill loses to really good grapplers. You look at Mackenzie Dern, you look at um, why can't I think of her name? Bruna. There we go. She even beat Lupi, but really good grapplers or somebody who has the power to kind of like put it on her a little bit, even though she's never been knocked out. And I just don't think Yasmin's going to be able to do any of that. So yeah, give me Angela Hill here. Pretty weird picking Angela Hill in the Big 2-5, huh? But she's looking great. So maybe that camp change is good for her.
Well, this next one.
Um, this next one, it's gonna be interesting. I'm kind of happy I'm going first because maybe I'll sway something in you. Steve Urseg versus Ode Osborne, Astro Boy, very big favorite, minus 500. Um, he is a few years younger, 30 over 33 for Osborne. This is going to be at 135 actually. So these are both flyweights, but super short nose for Ode. Inch of height for Urseg, but 5 inches of reach for Ode Osborne. Ode is coming off that knockout win over Luis Grule. And on the other side, Steve Urseg on a bit of a tough streak. He is 0-3, most recently losing to Brandon Moreno in February in that main event. Looked okay, though. This one's me. I'll start us off. I don't want to pick Ode Osborne here. Picked him versus Grule. He was one of my best bets of the week, actually. Um, I mean, this is going to be Steve Urseg wants this to be a striking fight, right? Stand up, distance, but he doesn't have the reach, and I don't know where his head's at. Is he still confident enough to be putting up, the dozens of strikes usually it takes to beat Ode Osborne? I don't think he's going to wrestle him. I don't think he's going to knock him out. So is he going to win a decision against Ode Osborne? On the other side, Steve Ursic does not have the best takedown defense. Moreno got him down. Pantoja got him down 9 times. Yes, that's Pantoja. I know, but Ode Osborne, he's not the best at grappling, but he can grapple when he wants to. He's a wrestling coach. I don't know. Something in me saying to pick the plus three. What did I say? 375 here. Um, do I do it? Do I do it? No, I'm not going to do it. Steve Urseg, I think it's going to be close, though. I think it's going to be close. Steve Urseg's going to win a 29-28 split decision. Maybe one he should have won. Um, Otherwise, we get ranked. Steve Urseg currently is number 10. So do we get ranked Ode Osborne, number 10 ranked Ode Osborne with a win? I don't know. Jeannie, I feel like you're going Steve Urseg here. I'm pretty confident in that.
Steve Ursek stopped. Listen, he got taken down 9 times, sure, against Pantoja. He
Hmm.
stopped 10 takedowns.
Did he? That's
Yeah,
funny.
he stopped 10 takedowns against Pantoja, despite getting taken down 9 times. He also
Okay.
stopped 4 against Moreno. And listen, he outstruck Moreno by like 30 significant strikes. And he was still very much in that fight. I don't think he's going to be reserved. I don't think he's going to be scared about his chin. I think that last fight might have rejuvenated him a bit and gave him a bit more confidence. Even though we lost it to Moreno, that's still a
Yeah.
title contender. This is a massive step down. This is a massive step down. I get Ode Osborne has a reach advantage, and he just beat Luis Hu coming off of the regional scene, and
Undefeated. Undefeated champion.
sure, but he choked a win against Ronaldo Rodriguez. Ode Osborne is not a guy that you want to have your money on, especially against a guy on a 3-fight losing skid that needs this win to stay in the company. And he had a full camp. He was originally
Mhm.
supposed to fight a badass prospect,
Yeah.
Hyun-Sung Park, and now he's fighting a step down in Ode Osborne on short notice. I think this is a setup fight for Urseg. This is get him a highlight reel, man. I've seen a
Interesting.
lot of people compare this to Dominic Reyes versus Ryan Spann.
Mm, I don't like that. That's not the same at all.
You don't think so?
No, no, no. For Reyes, like Ursig
Like
Reyes
Reyes
in
is
this case?
Urseg, and yeah, Urseg would be Reyes in that scenario. you know,
Maybe, I guess. But look how that turned out for for
Reyes.
Dominic
Yeah, I
Reyes.
mean, yeah, he's just about to get knocked out by Ulberg.
I guess, losing streak, should
Listen,
have
I'm
won,
worried.
might have won against the title or against the champion. Okay. So you're going Ursig, but you're a little
I'm
more
going
confident than
Urseg.
me.
I think he most likely takes home a decision or a KO in the second or third or something like that, but most likely a decision, I'd say. I'm not
Okay.
I'm not thinking it's going to be a 29-28 close split decision though. I'm thinking 30-27. Urseg's cashing that point spread.
Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. All right. Well, let's jump up to the main event then. That was a co-main. I gotta think through that a little bit. Um, Middleweights, Anthony Fluffy Hernandez versus Roman. Do you know this? Do you know his nickname? Roman Dolidze?
No.
The Caucasian. It makes sense. He's from the Caucasus Mountains, but Georgia's up there in the Caucasus. I was not aware of that. Um, anyway, Fluffy, eaten two in the UFC. He is currently on a one, two, three, four, five, six, 7 fight win streak. He beat Brendan Allen back in February. The other side, Roman Dolidze, a sneaky 3 fight winning streak. I'll say that. I did not realize that. Marvin Vettori, Kevin Holland, and Anthony Smith. Um, and yeah, it was a pretty good one. Ranked UFC middleweights. Let me just make sure I get this right. Number 10 versus number 9. Even though you could probably put him a little higher than some of these other guys. Like, what's Sean Strickland doing up there? And Robert Whitaker, Jared Cannonier. I don't know. Even Roman Dolidze is a little high for me, but I digress. Um, 2 inches of height for Dolidze, 1 inch of reach. I should mention the age. 37 for Dolidze, 31 for Fluffy. Big favorite is Fluffy Hernandez, minus 340, plus 280 for Dolidze. So, Zini, I'll go with you here. You going with Fluffy, or you going with the Caucasian?
I've been waiting for this day for so
Oh
long,
God.
Vax. I don't know if
Are
you
you picking
realize.
are you picking Roman Dolidze?
No, no,
Okay, good.
you mistook that. I hate Dolidze so much.
Really?
He listen. I pick against him every chance I get. I think I picked Marvin Vettori. Marvin Vettori
Hmm.
looked terrible in that fight.
Yeah.
I did not pick Kevin Holland. I think I picked Dolidze there, but that was an easy pick. Anthony Smith, like that's an easy pick as well. But
Mhm.
Najadine Mavov, I ate that up, man. I ate that up. Marvin Vettori, the first one, I ate that up too. Anthony Hernandez is a dog. This dude's got no
Mhm.
quit in him. He's got expert ground game. He's pretty good on the feet. Dolidze, his striking is not good. It
Mhm.
looks terrible. What's Dolidze's game? A submission, like a leg lock?
I think it changes. I have some thoughts about it, but let's go changes
Fight
changes
to
based
fight?
on the
Yeah.
opponent. How about that?
Well, you know what you're getting out of Fluffy Hernandez. It never
Fluffy.
changes. Fluffy.
I actually
It
like
never
that as a
changes.
nickname.
Um, and he's only getting better, man. I think he's getting massively disrespected in the rankings. He definitely should be above Robert Whitaker or
Hmm.
Ryan or DeRitter as well, I think.
Yeah.
Um, but well, that'll happen after this weekend. Dolidze has no chance. Has no chance. Fluffy Hernandez
No,
is getting a submission or TKO within 3 rounds.
I think it's closer than that. I think it's closer than the odds suggest. Listen, Nasruddin Imavov and Marvin Vettori in a fight I thought he won. Has 2 losses in the past 5 years. And this is a guy who Fluffy Hernandez. He didn't look great last time out against Brendan Allen. Granted, Brendan Allen, Jiu-Jitsu black belt. And he also said he had like some kind of staph infection, was going through antibiotics. So I understand that. I get that. But Roman Dolidze is one of those guys you never know what to get out of him. You never know which Roman Dolidze you're going to get. Grappler, striker. Like you said it, he didn't attempt a single takedown in the Martin Vettori fight, right? Um, and the reason I think that he's going to he could potentially put some trouble into Anthony Hernandez's game. I'm going fluffy, but Roman Dolidze, when you get a guy who's like the Anthony Hernandez, the Sean Brady's of the world, it's a relentless wrestling, top heavy jiu-jitsu guy. One of the things that kind of helps nullify that game is, especially, I'm gonna jiu-jitsu nerd out here. I know you're a Muay Thai guy. I'd take you down and snap you in an instant, but
Yeah,
um,
okay.
if you don't like jiu-jitsu, skip ahead a minute or something. I don't know, but
These are my wrestling medals behind me, by the way.
wrestling medals. Yeah, and Canadian wrestling medals. I'll put it that way.
Okay. Okay.
I'm just kidding. Dolidze's out of Extreme Couture, so you know he's got a good gym, and he plays a lot of K guard, and I saw him get up with like some reverse De La Rivas, and that's the kind of thing that could play like if he gets Fluffy into his guard. I don't know. He plays a very good bottom game. Bottom game isn't what it should be in MMA. Like I think that leg locking is going to come through and kind of revolutionize guard play in MMA in a year or two, I hope. But Roman Dolidze could be that. You remember that Phil Haas fight? He snapped his ACL and then put him out. That's the kind of thing, like especially when you're dry. Like Fluffy does not do well in the first round generally, and when you're dry, when somebody's in your guard and you can go for that. I don't know if Fluffy's not training, these Ashigrami and 50-50 positions. Maybe he gets his leg hurt. Maybe he gets his back taken from a De La Riva or something. I don't know. I got a weird feeling this fight could be closer. I'm still going Fluffy. Give me like a 48-47. How about that? Um, but yeah, I know that just sounded like gobbledygook to you, but how do you feel? Good main event? You excited?
Yeah, not a bad main event. I'm excited for any fluffy fight, but
True.
yeah.
All right. Well, I'll do my regional minute real quick. It's a quick one. We only have really four cards, and I wanted to talk about, non-UFC action this week. We got PFL Africa 2 going down in Johannesburg, South Africa, Saturday, the 9th at noon. Um, you got a few guys. It's not like the last card where you had like PFL Africa and then PFL, what are they calling it? Challenger Series or something. Um, and some guys you recognize. This is just all PFL Africa, but some prospects in there. Some guys that could win the event and then potentially fight in real PFL or whatever that means. Octagon 74 Saturday at noon. Also, just lost the title fight, um, but you got the women's bantamweight championship and you got the men's vacant bantamweight championship going down. So could be good. You remember Igor Severino,
Yeah.
the biter? He's fighting for the bantamweight championship here, and then you got former UFC fighters David Zawada and Christoph Jacko. So that might convince people to not watch the card. BKFC Edmonton Saturday at 2 p.m. Enoch, Alberta, Canada. You probably know where that is better than me. Um, I don't know a single guy on the card or girl, so I'm not going to talk about it. But BKFC always fun. And then you got Anthony Pettis FC 19 Sunday at 8 p.m. Uh, you got Igor. No, that's Sikira, not Sirkira. You got a few guys here who we could see on the Contender Series. This Badman Trend Georgiev guy, very good. Even though he lost for CFFC, he's still very good. Could see him on the Contender Series. And that is the regional minute. So next week's card, UFC 319. Excuse me, I almost said UFC 320. I wanted to skip ahead. Jeannie, you know how we do. Let's hear your favorite fight. I'm gonna say outside of the main event. Everybody's
Outside of the
favorite
main
fight would
event.
be the main event. But outside of the main event, give me a reaction. Give me like give me something for your feeling about the card and your favorite fight.
I'm pretty excited for this card. There's good names on it. You got Michael Venom Page. You got Carlos Praches. You got
Mhm. Wow, great pronunciation. I'm proud of you.
yeah. I was saying it like you.
I know. That's why I
That's
said it.
why. Yeah. Kaya Sakura. You got Aaron Pico, Leron Murphy. Like there's some banger fights. And for my favorite fight, I'm gonna go to the co-main, Leron Murphy and Aaron Pico. I think that's actually going to be a banger. Aaron
Oh,
Pico is
really?
an amazing striker, and
I thought
Leron.
you were joking.
No, I'm being serious. I
Okay, all
mean,
right.
Leron Murphy. He's a little boring. I mean, he's kind of like that the pitter pat at range
Yeah.
and to take you down when you want to actually get a dog fight out of him.
Hmm.
He had a boring fight out last time. You know, he was getting a lot of boos after that. What was that, Josh Emmett?
Boot, boot in the apex of
Yeah,
all
booed in the
places.
apex. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Um, but Aaron Pico, I'm always excited for him, and I think that's going to be a banger fight.
Okay. Well, I hope you're right instead of me. I kind of like cringed a little bit when I saw that co-main. Um, you'd think I'd go to Carlos Praches versus Jeff Neal, but I'm actually going Gerald Meerschaert and Mikhail Jacek. I love these guys. They're not great middleweights, but they sure are entertaining. I mean, Gerald Meerschaert, uh, two decision wins, and I believe. Let me just double check this. Yeah, both were pre-UFC. Yeah, both were pre-UFC. Is never won by decision. Only finish in the UFC, and that includes 29 submissions across his 56 fights, so pretty good. And then Mikhail Sejchuk just he comes to bang. Let me tell you that he just sits there and throws, and I guess he tried to take down Sharp Bullet, but outside of that, just finishes or gets finished. So I think that's going to be a good one, and we will be here to talk about it. Um, and yeah, thanks so much for coming on, Janie.
Thanks for having me.
Hopefully, we will enjoy this card despite it being the Apex. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching and listening. And um, yeah, we'll see you next time. Adios.